Sean Connery's life off-screen was just as fascinating as the characters he played. The legendary actor dated widely, lived boldly, and rarely looked back. Yet, there was one relationship that refused to stay in the past. Long after the breakups, the distance, and the chaos of Hollywood, one woman remained firmly in his heart. When Connery finally spoke about the woman he could never forget, it revealed a deeply personal chapter that few truly understood. Before we dive into this untold story here on Royal Time of Hollywood, let's look at the rugged journey of the man who would become the world's most famous spy. The untold origins of Big Tam. Long before the world knew him as James Bond, he was simply Thomas Sean Connery, a working-class kid from Edinburgh known as Tommy or Big Tam. By age 12, he towered over his peers. By 18, he was a solid 6 feet 2 inches. His upbringing was defined by grit. His father was a factory worker and his mother a cleaner. Money was tight, and Sean was out delivering milk in the wee hours of the morning before he even turned 16. Connery was also a man of early experience, losing his virginity at 14 to a woman in the Auxiliary Territorial Service. Eager to see the world, he joined the Royal Navy at 16, sporting 2 iconic tattoos, Scotland Forever and Mum and Dad. His naval career was cut short by a duodenal ulcer, sending him back to Edinburgh to work a bizarre string of odd jobs: lifeguard, truck driver, coffin polisher, and even an artist's model. Football, bodybuilding, and the mob. Connery eventually became a serious bodybuilder, but he refused to give up his first love: football. At 23, he received the offer of a lifetime, a chance to play for Manchester United. With incredible foresight, he turned it down, realizing a footballer's career was over by age 30. He chose the stage instead. His reputation as a hard man was cemented one night in a pool hall when 6 members of the notorious Balda gang tried to steal his jacket. Connery didn't blink. He single-handedly fought them off, smashing 2 of their heads together until the rest fled. His toughness followed him to the set of Another Time, Another Place, where he starred opposite Lana Turner. Rumors of an affair reached Turner's boyfriend, the violent mob enforcer Johnny Stompanato. Stompanato stormed the set and pulled a gun on Connery. Without hesitation, Sean grabbed the gangster's wrist, disarmed him, and leveled him with a single punch. When the mob later threatened to kill him, Connery quietly relocated until the heat died down, unaware that the role of a lifetime was waiting. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to check out the other stories and shocking updates on our channel. We've covered many incredible celebrity journeys, tragic endings, and untold Hollywood secrets that you don't want to miss. Binge-watch our previous videos to discover more surprising facts, emotional stories, and where your favorite stars are today. Your support helps us bring you more powerful content like this, so don't forget to explore, watch more, and stay tuned for the next video. Becoming Bond. Connery wasn't the polished leading man Hollywood expected. He was a rough diamond. When he first met photographer Julie Hamilton, she found him off-putting, until she saw him in a traditional Scottish kilt. The transformation was instant. She was smitten. However, their romance ended when Connery admitted his feelings had faded for her and shifted toward Diane Cilento. Cilento was the one who introduced him to producer Harry Saltzman, who was struggling to bring James Bond to the screen. Author Ian Fleming initially hated the idea of Connery as Bond, wanting someone more refined like Cary Grant. But Connery's raw, working-class edge won the producers over. After a crash course in etiquette and style, Connery delivered the line that changed cinema history: Bond. James Bond. Success brought complications. He married Cilento in a secret Gibraltar ceremony, and they named their son Jason, a promise Connery kept to his ex, Julie Hamilton. But the Bond fever placed an immense strain on their marriage. By 1965, the relationship was fracturing under the weight of fame and explosive on-set arguments. The shark attack and the exit. Connery's dedication to the role almost cost him his life. During the filming of Thunderball, a shark slipped through a gap in a plexiglass barrier meant to protect him in a pool. Connery scrambled out of the water just in time, a terrifying moment that fueled his desire to leave the franchise. By 1971, Connery had divorced Salento and was dating a string of high-profile women, including Lana Wood and Jill St. John. He briefly returned to the role of Bond in Diamonds Are Forever for a record-breaking salary, which he used to establish a trust for Scottish artists. He spent the following years proving his range in films like The Man Who Would Be King and the cult classic Zardoz. Never Say Never Again. In 1983, Connery shocked the world by returning as 007 in Never Say Never Again. The production was grueling. During rehearsals, a young fight trainer named Steven Seagal accidentally broke Connery's wrist. But the real comeback came with The Untouchables, which earned him an Academy Award. He solidified his legend playing Indiana Jones' father, but personal controversies, including allegations of affairs and resurfaced comments about physical confrontation, continued to follow him. Despite this, he was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II in 2000, a moment he called one of the proudest of his life. Connery officially retired in 2006, disillusioned with the film industry. On October 31, 2020, he passed away peacefully in his sleep in the Bahamas at the age of 90. His final wish was for his ashes to be returned to his beloved Scotland, the one woman he never got over. While Connery's life was filled with famous faces, one woman stood above the rest: Micheline Roquet-Brune, a French-Moroccan painter. They met at a golf tournament in Morocco in 1970. Micheline didn't even know who he was. She was simply struck by his athletic build and powerful charisma. That night, she had a vivid dream of being in his arms. The next day, she sought him out, and the connection was instant. Despite a language barrier, she spoke French, he spoke English. They communicated through a shared, intense chemistry. In the morning, he was there. She later recalled of their early days. He didn't say a word, he just looked at me. For 2 years after that first meeting, they had no contact. Then, Connery reached out and invited her to Spain. When they reunited, he confessed that he had never stopped thinking about her. They married in 1975 in Gibraltar. Micheline became his rock, his greatest supporter, and the woman who remained by his side for 45 years. When Connery began to struggle with dementia in his final years, Micheline was his protector. She described their life together as a wonderful journey, saying, "He was a model of a man. We had a wonderful life together." Sean Connery was a man who conquered the world, but in the end, it was a quiet painter from Morocco who conquered his heart. If you enjoyed this tribute to the original 007, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you never miss another legendary story here on Royal Time of Hollywood.